You've seen his face on posters, shirts, and coffee mugs. But behind the iconic image lies a story far darker and far more human. This is not just the tale of a revolutionary. It's the journey of a man driven by ideals, belief, and obsession. A doctor who became a soldier and a symbol that outlived his own revolution. This is the untold story of Che Guevara, born Ernesto Guevara in Rosario, Argentina, in 1928. He grew up in a middle-class family, intelligent, curious, and plagued by asthma. Despite chronic illness, he was drawn to the suffering of others. He studied medicine, but something inside him pushed beyond the hospital walls. In 1952, at just 23, he set off across South America on a motorcycle with his friend Alberto Granado. What he saw changed him forever. Poverty, injustice, and entire communities living in desperation. In his travel diaries, he wrote, "The injustice of the world fills me with rage. I am ready to fight for the people." By the time he returned home, the student had become something more. He was now a revolutionary in the making. 2 years later, Guevara crossed paths with a young Cuban exile named Fidel Castro in Mexico City. Both men dreamed of ending dictatorship and foreign control in Latin America. In 1956, they sailed to Cuba aboard a small yacht called Granma, with only 82 men on board. Within days, most of them were killed. But those who survived, including Che and Fidel, regrouped in the mountains of Sierra Maestra. Ernesto Guevara earned his nickname Che, a common Argentine slang word meaning buddy or friend. To the rebels, he was more than that. He became their field doctor, strategist, and in time, one of their fiercest commanders. At the risk of sounding ridiculous, Che once wrote, "Let me say that the true revolutionary is guided by great feelings of love." By January 1959, the revolution had succeeded. Cuban dictator Fulgencio Batista fled the country, and the rebels marched triumphantly into Havana. Che Guevara stood beside Fidel Castro as one of the revolution's heroes. He was put in charge of La Cabaña prison, where he oversaw trials and executions of Batista's officers. To some, he was a symbol of justice. To others, a man consumed by ideology. What began as a fight for freedom slowly hardened into a struggle for control. As Minister of Industry, Che tried to reshape Cuba into a socialist utopia, but the reality was harsh. Factories failed, trade collapsed, and many Cubans grew restless. Still, Che refused to compromise his vision. For him, revolution wasn't just politics, it was faith. By 1965, Che mysteriously disappeared from public life. Rumors spread, had he fallen out with Castro? In truth, his revolutionary spirit could not be contained by one island. Che traveled to the Congo to support an uprising against colonial forces. It ended in disaster. Then, his final journey led him to Bolivia, where he hoped to ignite another revolution across South America. But this time things were different. The peasants did not rise up. The CIA had tracked his every move. And on October 8th, 1967, Che was captured in the Bolivian jungle near La Higuera. The next day, he was executed. His final words, "Shoot, coward. You are only going to kill a man." Even in death, Che refused to disappear. A local school teacher, shocked by his execution, described him as looking Christ-like. The CIA ordered his hands cut off for identification. But the image of Che lying dead only made his legend stronger. Months later, Cuban photographer Alberto Corda's portrait, titled Guerrillero Heroico, spread around the world. Che's face became a global symbol of rebellion, revolution, and paradoxically, fashion. From college dorm walls to pop culture, the man who fought against capitalism became one of its most commercialized icons. Yet behind the symbol was still the man. Disciplined, ruthless, idealistic, and deeply human. A man who believed he could remake the world. History has never agreed on who Che Guevara really was. A hero who died for justice, or a fanatic blinded by ideology. The truth perhaps lies somewhere in between. He changed nations, inspired movements, and continues to divide opinions half a century after his death. Maybe that's why his legend endures. Because Che Guevara was never just a man, he became an idea. This was Che Guevara, the revolutionary who became a myth only on Untold Legends Lab. Want to learn more about the hidden sides of iconic figures? Then subscribe to Untold Legends Lab.